So let's add color using selections. What's one way we can do that? And what layer do we need to be on to make the selection? We could be on the stamp visible. Perfect. And what do you want to select?
Sky.
The sky? All right. Let's try the quick select. That works pretty well. But we want to get rid of this. We don't want that to be the same color. So let's grab the option, kind of drag that along the bottom to see if it will pull out some of that from the selection. And you can see it does a pretty good job. But if I want to refine that, I have a really easy option of pressing Q. And when you press Q, you go into Quick Mask. Then, with the brush selected, black and white is the foreground and background color, you can add and subtract to this mask. And what the mask is the selection. In this case, everything that is red is not selected, and everything that is the original black and white is selected. But we can come along here, select some of the bushes and some of the mechanical stuff. So once you've edited Quick Mask, you just hit Q on the keyboard to exit. And you can see that what you have selected is this area here. If you wanted to refine the edges, go to Select, Refine Edges. We can view it in any number of ways by hitting F on the keyboard to go through. All right, with that, Quick Mask mode, the overlay. We could try using the radius, maybe the Smart Radius, to see if that helps us. Looks pretty good. We could smooth it out a little bit. I think feathering's not really what I want. Let me check. Play a little with the contrast. We could shift the edge in or out. Looks pretty good there. And then we can output it to that same selection. I'm going to hit OK. Press Q again to go in here and add a little bit of these trees. It's much easier to make selections where there are areas that are more properly defined. Q in, Q out. And with that area selected, you can go to Layer, New Fill Layer, Solid Color. And say we call this Sky. Now it's going to look very weird because we need to put it up at the top of the layer panel. But let's grab a nice crazy blue. Okay. Now it looks like this because we are at the, underneath these other effects. So we need to put it up at the very top. And now because it is set in normal blending mode, it looks like it's just placed there. So let's try changing it to multiply.
What's the shortcut to change the mode?
The shortcut to cycle through the layer blending modes, you need to have the Move tool selected and then use Shift plus or minus. Let's see. I don't know, I kind of like that. That looks good too. You don't have to keep with realistic color. You can kind of play around with it. Actually, that looks pretty good too. You can also change the opacity of the layer. So let's try selecting this dock. Go back to Stamp Visible. What tool do you want to try to select the dock? Magic wand. Let's try the magnetic lasso and see how that works. It's kind of a weird. Oh. Yeah, we're going to need to do some amendments. That's okay. I just need to lay down a rough selection, and then I can go, whoa, this is rough. This is rough. Just go down here, all the way down here, and then just close it. You can see that could use a little bit of finessing. Press Q to enter quick mask mode. Get the brush. Now, you can change the quick mask mode to show the color indicates the masked areas or the selected areas. I like to work with the selected areas also. So when I go into Q, whatever is this pink is selected. And with the brush, black and white, I can go in and edit out parts and also bring parts in. Now I have kind of, let's see, what's the hardness on this brush? It's 100. I could probably take it down a little bit. Let's zoom in. Change the size of the brush, because we want a little bit of definition. Some parts of this guy you're just kind of guessing. I think it kind of goes in a little like that. You can always hit Q to exit to see if you're getting better. I think we need to put a little bit of the lag back in over here. You can make the brush a little larger. Okay. And you just go back and forth with X, just like you were editing a layer mask. Okay. Let's go up here. Add a little bit. All right, looks pretty good. And once you've got that quick mask selected, how do you exit quick mask mode?
Q.
Exactly. Q. And then you could go back to layer, new fill layer, solid color. Call it Wharf. Nice green. Change that to maybe soft light. Put it up at the top, and you're good to go. And then because it comes, the fill layer comes with this adjustment layer, with this layer mask, you can always grab the brush and go in and either add to it, or with black in the foreground, subtract from it. Which is why this is a great way to color. This is always editable because this layer mask comes with the fill layer. Also, you can change the color just by double clicking on this first thumbnail. So if you're like, oh, well, I thought that was a good idea, but now I completely changed my mind, you don't have to make any selections again. Just double click on this first thumbnail. Kind of works pretty well. Okay, sound good? And on top of this, remember when you have your selections, you always have that refine selections. You can also grab this mask and go to refine mask. And that gives you same options. You can adjust the radius of the mask. In this case, I might want to smooth it out a little, like a little too smooth. Put the smart radius on, hit OK. And then it just adjusted it, just a little bit. You can also double click on the mask to bring up the mask properties panel and take the density of the mask down. In this case, if you take it down too far, you can see that color more overall. You'll see how this thumbnail changes. Sometimes it's good to, maybe you could blend better this way, so I'm gonna leave it down maybe 89. I could feather it. Probably not a great decision in this case, doesn't look too good. And I can also go into the Mask Edges dialog window from here. Okay.